I'm Toby Forrest. I'm an actor, a rock star, sometimes a comedian, and oh yeah, I'm a quadriplegic. I've been one for about 20 years.
Hi, I'm Randy Miller. I'm the writer and director of such films as Bottle Shock, Marilyn Hotchkiss, Ballroom Dancing and Charm School, CBGB, Nobel Son, House Guest, Class Act, and many others.
I hope you'll take this journey with us.
Welcome, guys, here at DAPP Center. I got Super Crip NFT project here with some great people. This is actually a featured film about a disabled actor in Hollywood, produced and directed by the people who made Bottle Shock, CBGB, Noble Son, Marilyn Hotchkiss, and Coffee Wars. And here is the team, guys. I got Toby, I got Randall, I got Michael, and Mac here. You know, first off, I want to start about what is Super Crip NFT. I want you guys to like just lay it out to tell us what the project's all about, and then my second question will be introduction, talk to you guys, asking questions. You know, tell us about your background and a little bit about yourself. So first off, yeah, let's talk about Super Crip. What's it all about?
I guess I'll start. I'm Randy. So Super Crip NFT is a way to bring awareness to people with disabilities. And how they're basically not portrayed correctly and or as much as they could be in movies. And we're doing a parody, basically saying, what if you took some of the most famous characters from movies and they happen to be people with disabilities? Like, you know, if Darth Vader, who he is, right, Toby, he is a disabled character.
Well, he actually is disabled. A really disabled guy, you know what I'm saying? The most powerful guy in Star Wars happens to be, you know, the guy with the most disabilities. I always say when what people miss about Star Wars, it's about an amputee father trying to get his amputee son into the family business.
Right.
But you know, the guy with the biggest disability in the Star Wars universe is J.J. Abrams.
I don't know about that. Oh, okay, we're gonna diss on other filmmakers. I don't know, but yeah. So it's basically, if you had all these characters historically from movies that had disabilities, would our point of view towards people with disabilities in movies be different today? And we sort of posit the question that perhaps it would. Perhaps you would have more people with disabilities in all kinds of roles that call for disabilities and ones that don't call for disabilities. It's just another way to look at the world, which isn't really portrayed correctly in movies, we think. And as Toby talks about, there's 25, would you say it was 25% of the population?
Yeah, I mean, over 20% of the population has a disability, and over 80% of the population will become disabled in their lifetime. The unfortunate part is that in film and cinema and entertainment industry, unfortunately, like less than 1% of the people portrayed as disabled are played by people with disabilities.
That's crazy.
Wow. And then if you look at it, if you look at the Oscars, the list of people portraying people with disabilities who have won an Oscar, I mean, that percentage is I don't know, maybe 40%. I couldn't even tell you.
It's like, you know,
a lot.
If you're a famous actor and you know, like in My Left Foot or many movies, Forrest Gump, you know, and you play a character with a disability, you get nominated for an award because they think you did this amazing thing. But really, is that right? I don't necessarily think that's right. I think
And that's really the second part of our campaign, is to raise funds for a movie called Super Crip, which is a very, very funny buddy comedy, which is basically about this famous actor that wants to get an Oscar or to get known as a legitimate dramatic actor, who wants to get this really big part of a disabled person, and he ends up becoming buddied with a guy who's actually a disabled actor, and they're both going up for the part. And it's super funny, but it raises this issue of, why does Daniel Day-Lewis play a disabled person when there's so many great disabled actors that should be playing the part. And so the NFT campaign is a parody of this, but the movie also is saying this message in a very funny way.
That's amazing. Yeah, so it sounds like it's a very fun, creative entertainment here that's also going to be spreading awareness too. So absolutely amazing. And I want you guys, I want, you know, this is the team here, folks. So I want us to talk about you guys, introduce yourselves, tell us a little bit about yourself, tell us about your background and how you're connected with the project.
I guess I'll start just because I'm at the moment the guy in all the pictures. You know, I mean, Michael did such an amazing job, and all the artwork is just so incredible, and it really like just gets right to the point and speaks for itself. And I think you get the humor, and you also get the message instantaneously without any explanation. But to sort of explain the guy behind the picture or on the picture, myself, I've had a disability for over 20 years now. So I've experienced half my life with a disability and half without. And when I was about 22, 23, just out of college, I was diving off of a waterfall in the Grand Canyon, and it was too shallow, and broke the 5th cervical vertebrae and did a little drowning and did a little dying, and they're not ready for my sense of humor, or they're not ready for my sense of whichever direction I was going or going, they're not ready for my sense of humor just yet. So after, you know, becoming a quadriplegic and realizing that my one path has changed, I sort of altered course. Got a master's in psychology and was going to follow that path. Moved out to Los Angeles a few years after my injury, and someone told me about an acting scholarship through the Media Access Awards, and it was a Christopher Reeve acting scholarship. And I had no experience other than I had written a monologue about a guy with Alzheimer's, and I did that and performed that for this award show and won the Christopher Reeve Acting Scholarship at this Media Access Awards. And he presented it to me, and it was, I mean, within my first year of LA, it was a huge change in everything, and that altered the course of my life yet again, and decided, oh, I'll become an actor, and was fortunate enough to meet Randy along the way. And one of the first things I ever got to do was be an extra in his movie.
Nobel Son. Yeah, that was a long time ago.
A long time when I first moved here, and then years later, you know, I had built up my resume and done a number of things. I've been fortunate enough to sing in the Oscar choir, be a guest star on shows like How to Get Away with Murder, and have a one-on-one with Viola Davis, you know, and I just
got a great part in Randy's new movie. Randy,
yeah,
an extra. I was just about to lead into one of the lead parts.
I just was about to lead into how I came full circle with Randy, and he just recently, about a year and a half ago, we went to Serbia and did a film, and he put me in a great part as the lead judge in Coffee Wars, which will be coming out.
Not a disabled character. He just happens in the movie.
Just happened to be a guy with a disability. It doesn't have to be explained. It doesn't have to be like the focus of my character. It just is an aspect of it, which is sort of the point of this next film, you know, is to really point out that, like, this wheelchair doesn't define me. It doesn't define the character in the movie. And if we authentically cast that character, well, then we're going to get a lot closer to the reality of the situation. And it's a great opportunity for me, and a great opportunity for Randy and I to take it to even the next level. So thank you, Randy, and take it away.
Well, I'm Randy Miller. I'm a writer and director primarily. I produced a bunch of movies too, and years ago I met Michael or over here it's Michael. At film school, we went to USC together. We were both starting out as directors, and I've directed a number of movies and TV shows on the studio level and independently. Most famous is Bottle Shock with Alan Rickman and Chris Pine, and Nobel Sun, as Toby was saying, and most recently a movie called Coffee Wars, which is about a barista competition that's coming out.
Pitch perfect with coffee.
Okay, pitch perfect with coffee. He's better at pitching than I am. He always was better at pitching than I am. But anyways, yeah, I'm just really excited to tell the story. And Michael and I had this idea: what if we did artwork or NFTs that basically brought this concept, graphically, and the whole thing that Toby's going up against, really clearly to life. And then that would be a way to sort of bring awareness, and then we would do the NFTs, and the NFTs would lead to the movie. So that's sort of the genesis of it. Great. To you,
and, I'm a writer-director to Randy at USC Film School. I've done 7 features, most of them indie, but people might know I did this film with Clive Owen and Paul Giamatti called Shoot 'Em Up, which was super fun. Did a movie with Kerry Russell called 8 Days a Week. But I also have been a illustrator animator. My recent film is called Nixed, and it's a feature film I animated myself about Nixon solving the JFK assassination. It's pretty funny. Really but I'm like totally now into animation and illustrations, and Randy and I have been collaborating on some things, and he said, hey, how about doing these illustrations of Super Crip? And I said, man, I'm a genre guy. I get to do James Bond and Batman and, make Toby these guys. I was totally in and had a total blast. And so that's me.
Awesome. Well, you guys are amazing. I'm nothing like, I don't make movies. I'm the tech guy nerd.
No, you make music, and you're like, all that other stuff.
Yeah.
You're the multitasker, spinning lots of plates guy.
Lots of plates, company, and developing, and all kinds of stuff.
Well,
cutting you off.
It's my turn now, I guess. I'm Mac. Everybody knows me as short for MacGyver. It's like I'm the nerd here. I'm the one that took their amazing artwork and turned it into life. It was no easy task. We initially tried to use some off-the-shelf software. Nothing could do the quality that we needed, and just the way we wanted these to be. We want them to be really high quality, but also small enough to be on the web page. So it was a really tough balance there. So in the end, we had to create our own software, all custom homegrown, to make this project come to fruition. I had a really good team behind me too. I'm excited to be part of this. I've been in technology and in the blockchain space for about 8 or 9 years now. I'm on Twitter a lot. I know Nero knows me there too as well. I'm a big part of the crypto community and the blockchain and NFTs. I love what it is and what it represents. And when I got to know Randall and what this idea was, it immediately melted my heart. A couple of things that kind of jumped out at me is really putting a focus on the disabilities community. It's something that really resonates with me. My mom is disabled. She's had 17 surgeries on her foot, and she wanted to amputate it many times. She fought them not to do it. So it's a really big struggle for her. It means a lot to me. The world, according to, what the textbooks would say about me as well, they would say I have a mental disability. I have, I'm clinically diagnosed with ADHD. I'm a little on the spectrum. So to me, disabilities comes in all shapes and sizes, but it does not change who you are. And everybody has their challenges, but we're all human beings. So this is something that really resonated with me to the core. And I was super excited to be part of this and really happy to really lift Toby up here and give them the recognition he deserves, because he's an amazing human being, inspiration to many, including myself. I mean, the fact that you've gone through all that stuff and you fought and you went and you got your degree and you really went and all this stuff, not many people would do that. And for you to be able to do that, it is an amazing story. And I think the world needs to know. So,
well, right back at you, Steve. I mean, we've all, I think, in this little arena that we've got together, have been through the ringer a time or two, and I think these NFTs are awesome because they represent the wheelchair, and the wheelchair is kind of the symbol for disability. I mean, it's on the handicap parking space. And so it's a great place to start. And I know that there's a world of possibilities that can be expanded and expounded upon with just this little start of Michael creating these amazing little caricatures of me that can just evolve into any number of different ways of incorporating these NFTs into this new space, and also raising some funds to create this film, which will also create some opportunities for some other performers with disabilities to play characters that have disabilities, to play characters that don't. I mean, I've been fortunate enough to play someone who's not disabled, like once, but that's a very rare opportunity.
The funny thing is, we started doing the marketing on the coffee movie, and the people from the marketing team are like, I said, we really should talk about Toby, because he's a great ambassador for the disabled. And they were like, well, I don't know, we really get a bad rap because he's not really disabled. And I'm like, what are you talking about? They think that you're playing a character who's not disabled, and they just believed you weren't disabled. So
part of that
should be the way it is.
Part of that is the narrative that has been established of you not expecting a person with a disability to be capable to play someone with a disability, much less someone without. And hopefully this will enlighten that, for a lot of people, because clearly most of the world is connected to somebody with a disability, whether it's a friend, a family member, or even your favorite news star of an amazing movie.
Yeah, I wanted to jump in when Steve was talking about having to create his own software to create these NFTs. I think part of it is they're not just static NFTs, they're actually animated. You get to see, like Aquaman, you can see next to Randy, there's a goldfish in there. It's kind of swimming around, or the James Bond one, he's got the machine guns that are firing. And so they're really cool because all of these NFTs are kind of animated and alive. And that was a challenge for Steve to, create all the different ones, but also keep the animation going. So check them out.
Yeah, I've gone on the website, looked over the artwork, very fun and entertaining. I love the characters. Some of my favorite characters, the Big Lebowski, the dude. A lot of characters, so much fun.
The opportunity to pay it forward is always amazing, right? And to if you can create a vehicle that will entertain people and educate people, but also in the process benefit people, then what a magical trifecta that is to be able to create. And I think everyone here is so passionate about that. And I've been fortunate enough to be affected by a lot of nonprofits, and I've been a speaker at a lot of nonprofits and involved with a lot of them, and especially ones that are in the entertainment industry. That are really trying to push the narrative of inclusion, because that's what it's about. In my world, unfortunately, a lot of people get overlooked and maybe not given an opportunity just because of the situation. And we want to help change that and get people jobs and get people opportunities to maybe take a trip to Hawaii, or
we've added some
maybe go bowling,
exactly.
just as the Big
There's going
Lebowski.
to be bowling opportunities, a trip to Hawaii. Can you elaborate more on how those rewards are going to work?
Yeah, so basically, Mac is going to help us with this too, but randomly through the people who buy the NFTs, we're going to give one person and their loved one or their friend or someone they hate, whatever they decide, to a trip to Hawaii. And in keeping with Aquaman, in our case, it's Aqua Sushi Roll. It's a trip to Hawaii and a pair of snorkels, because that Aquaman would make sense. And then, or they could take the cash, $2,500 if they want. And then the second prize is to be able to go to Disneyland so they can ride the Indiana Jones ride, which we call Geriatric Indy. Not because Harrison Ford's old. We don't think he's old at all. We just call him geriatric.
He's
Indian.
never going to get old.
Right, he knows all the
Inclusion.
sequels.
We got to include all sorts of people in wheelchairs.
Yeah, yeah. So that's $1,000 prize, and then the third prize is a trip to your local bowling alley, so that you could be a bowler like the dude in The Big Lebowski, and buy all your friends bowling for $500. So we're doing that so that we can give back to people, so that they're part of our team. We're supporting them as well.
That's awesome. Can you tell us the plan? What's the roadmap looking like? What is the time frame this year? You got anything planned coming next year? What's in store for us in the future?
I mean, the hope is we're trying to do this in sort of three sort of seasons, or three things of it. So this is the first one, and we haven't exactly picked the drop date, have we, Mac?
No, we kind of alluded to it. We've been thinking about it. We wanted to make sure, one, it was the right time. Two, we give enough time for everybody to know what this is and not just kind of rush it into market, because this is a special project and it needs a little love, and it's a little different. And some people might also take offense to this right away without really digging into it, because this is really in your face. And that's one thing I like about it too. It's really putting it front and center. And you have to be careful about maybe putting the wrong message out there. So we're just taking our time a little bit here, but tentatively we've been thinking about 3/3/23 is where we're going to think is probably a good time to do the drop date and have the minting. But we want to make sure we're absolutely certain. That might move a week or two from there, but we will be announcing that within the next week or so when that mint date is. We just want to kind of make sure we were right, and it does take a little bit of time to get out to market. We've only been, I think, a few weeks out, where we kind of let everybody know, not even.
Yeah. And so we're doing that. There's 5,501 NFTs, and then we have a plans to do a second season, which we would start on after the first one is complete, and then that would be used. So the first one is used to start doing the development and start casting and stuff on the feature film. That's where most of the money's going. And then the second one would be to help fund the feature and get the feature made. And then the third one would be for the release of the feature and any finishing funds, like for music or marketing or anything else that you have to do at the end of the feature. So there were basically three pieces.
Yeah, I should point out on phase one, Randy's already written a great script. That part is done. The hardest thing in making any movie is getting the right story, getting it right. If it's not on the page, it's not on the stage. And then oftentimes to get the movie going, in terms of casting, you got Toby, but the other half is you need basically the star actor that can get it funded. And oftentimes you have to hire a casting director that has an in with the agents that rep people to get them to see the project. And when you get it cast, it's easier then to raise the funding, because that people can imagine the movie with this star. And so basically phase one is to help basically get the pre-production and the cast going so the movie can be funded and then go into production.
One thing I want to bring up besides the movie timeline and stuff is there's a few other things that you aren't really mentioning here that are part of this. One is we want to create a game that allows you having these NFT characters to actually race each other, and we were going to call it Super Crip Derby. And you imagine these wheelchairs running along and trying to race each other. And there's a little power rating. If you haven't taken a look at the NFTs, the power rating is going to dictate how strong or how fast they can be at going across the screen. So that is the next phase. And also to support that game is going to be a token. So we're going to have some tokenomics, and part of that tokenomics will be directly to fund not only this movie, but other people with disabilities for going for movies. And we really want to give back as much as we can to the community. This is really about helping the community and all about inclusion. And the way to do that is kind of do it first. A lot of people are afraid to kind of go first and do things. We have to go ahead and do it, put it out there, and then help raise some money. And the best way to do that is gamify some of the stuff, make it exciting and fun and really inclusive. So, I wasn't sure if, Randy and stuff.
Yeah, no.
Types of things.
Yeah, we've been working on the token, and that's a whole thing, infrastructure unto itself, but that's going to be attached to this also. So, yeah.
I got to get the Aston Martin James Bond to go
Yeah.
racing.
But only if they had a higher power rating. If they had a 99, of course,
Yeah.
go fast. But you might have the clunker that has a higher power rating.
There's
But
some that
I
I've
don't
seen
unfair,
that
Hey,
have like
some-
100 power rating. Those are going to be really fast. So.
right?
The tortoise and the hare. Sometimes
Exactly.
you don't know.
So
Right.
we want to make it exciting. So it's not always going to guarantee you with the power rating to win. We want to make it exciting. There might be some things, there might be boulders in the way you have to kind of jump over or something like that. We just want to give a little bit of an edge to people to have a higher rating, but still give them some kind of competitive advantage, but not so much where they're always going to win, because I think that's unfair as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'm super excited to look forward to the game. Can't wait to play. Do you have any planned partnerships, any collaborations that you guys think are going to really help, with the project taking off? Any other forms of marketing? I know you guys there was some media posts about it. I saw Yahoo News and some other news outlets were making some posts and media. But is there?
Well, I mean, in the crypto space, we're just doing a normal press. We're trying to sort of work that all out, and we're meeting with various doing AMAs and all that kind of stuff. And we have just as for fun, we made a Gary V NFT.
Yeah.
Because years ago, Gary was instrumental in the release of our movie Bottle Shock. He was at the time, he wasn't in the NFT world at all or crypto world at all. It was before that. And he was on the Wine Library, and he did a number of videos to help promote that movie. So we thought it'd be fun to do. We don't have any way to connect to him, but if anybody out there is watching this and can connect to him, there's a couple of we made some really fun Super Gary V's that we would give to him, basically, because we want him to just promote us or help us or post about it or something.
And he's also a superhero himself too, in my senses. I mean, he helps inspire people. He inspired me. I'm an entrepreneur myself. I've been following Gary for years. He's helped me be who I am and share who I am online. So to me, he's a superpower, and he's a really good voice for a lot of people. And I know he speaks from the heart, and he's he's a person that really cares. So to me, he's a superhero. He just doesn't have a cape. Well, maybe he could, but I just think he's that type of person. He belongs to that category as a superhero. So that's why.
But probably the most important connection are some of the organizations that were that are involved with disabilities, and maybe Toby, you can speak to some of those.
Yeah, teaming up with organizations, even like the Media Access Awards, which is it's like the Oscars for the world of entertainment and disability, and to have them backing us, and another a friend of mine has an amazing film and foundation called Cinemability, which is the history of disability in film, and it's an amazing documentary that is so educational and goes all the way back and shows you how people with disabilities were portrayed in the beginning, all the way up to how they are now. And she's given us her sign of approval. We've got some great entertainment people like Ability Magazine and Ability Entertainment, which are going to support us. And then also some nonprofits like Artists for Trauma and Ralph's Riders and Triumph Foundation, which are really just like pillars of the community, especially where I live in Southern California, creating opportunities for people with and without disabilities to get involved in this community and to make profound opportunities and life-changing things for people with disabilities. And like my biggest thing, honestly, is when I was fortunate enough to be in the Oscars and be in the Oscar choir, the only thing I cared about was, can a little kid out there see the wheelchair? Like, that's all. I don't care if they see my face. I don't care about any of that. If some kid out there, like with or without a wheelchair, will see that and know that that's possible and that they can go do that and no obstacle is in their way, then that's the point. And hopefully things like this will do that on a big, broad level with a big microphone and an opportunity to change people's minds in a lot of ways.
Yeah, and all those
sounds
organizations that are supporting us are in the bottom of the website. So if anybody wants to check them out there, They're all on the bottom.
Speaking of which, I will have everything included down in the description, links to the website, links to the social. Join their Twitter account, follow them on Twitter, join their Discord, join the communities, folks. This is a great opportunity. It sounds like we got a really solid project here. You guys are going to definitely want to check out. Definitely very creative, fun, entertainment, NFTs, and you're talking about play to earn as well. A play game, a game.
It's going to hopefully create awareness and create fun at the same time.
There's no way to not be entertained and also like do a good thing in the process of this entire thing from start to finish, whether it's supporting the NFTs, whether it's supporting all the things that we're attached to and all of the community that we're attached to, or whether it's just, hey, I heard there's this cool film that they're trying to make. So yeah, it's a win-win. I think no matter what, people are going to be entertained and feel good about it in the process.
That's great. Absolutely. Well, that pretty much concludes our AMA here. I don't have any more questions, but yes, please check it out. Join their socials down below. And I do want to thank Toby, Randall, Michael, and Stephen Mack for being here and having an opportunity to speak with you guys all today and letting us know everything that you guys got going on in this space in the crypto world and your project. And I look forward. We actually have it looking forward to another AMA we're going to be doing on Twitter Spaces here in the near future. So definitely keep your eyes peeled on that and for the announcements for that. And of course, we got the big date that's going to be coming up here in March that you guys are going to be looking forward to as well. Is there anything last minute you guys would like to say to our guests before we get off here?
Don't forget to check out Coffee Wars.
Yeah, it's gonna be an amazing movie.
That's coming in March too. So there's
don't forget to check out Michael's projects and Mac Nerd. I mean, he's got all the answers. So
I don't know about
Mira,
that, but I
thanks
appreciate
so much. This was awesome.
heads up. Yeah, thank you. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you
Awesome,
so much.
guys. Thank you guys all for tuning
Okay.
in. See you guys.
Bye. Bye-bye.
Absolutely.
Very cool. Thanks.
Thank you, buddy.
See ya. Bye-bye.